Well, hello, Blair.
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. Up in the mountains, doing
Oh,
good.
in Pemberton.
In Pemberton, yeah. Sun
I
is shining somewhere, not
I
here.
know it's on your face. It looks beautiful,
Yeah, I got a little glow from the clouds coming
which
in.
is perfect because today you're going to be talking about glowing and how to, well, not glow, but gain, grow, and build, and how to become resilient. And I'm so excited because right now, this is the time to talk about resilience, and not just for now, but for the future and every single day, right? So there's stuff that we can be doing right now that's going to help us build resilience in a big way. So I'm really excited to chat about this. For those of you who don't know Blair, Blair Kaplan Venables is an expert in social media marketing at the president of Blair Kaplan Communications. She's a renowned speaker and author of several books, namely Pulsing Through My Veins, which is raw and real stories from an entrepreneur, coming out this spring. I'm really excited for this one. And she also has an online community that she's growing in. It's called I Am Resilient Project. Amazing. Exactly what we want to talk about. So let's just dive in right now. Blair, I have to tell you, I've been having so many conversations with people who are reaching out to me and saying they're really struggling right now. They're struggling with anxiety. They're struggling with um, depression and just all the things that come with uncertain times. So let's dive into the topic. Tell us, what is resilience?
So essentially, resilience is the ability to bounce back from a difficult time or challenge. If you think of like a rubber band, if you pull a rubber band and you let go of it and it snaps back, kind of picture
Mm-hmm,
that,
mm-hmm.
but your resilience muscle, which isn't a real muscle, but I call it a resilience muscle. And I think there's lots of things you can do to train your resilience muscle to make it stronger and to give you the ability to bounce back faster and stronger.
Oh, I think I need that. There's things that happen, and I'm talking like aside from what's going on in the world right now, little things that happen, and it just like infuses a ton of anxiety into me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. There was an example a couple months ago where my blender exploded, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is something that I use every single day. I need my smoothie right now. There's stuff all over the kitchen counter, and it literally just made everything feel like it was falling apart. One little thing. And when I look at it in retrospect, it's like, okay, that's a silly thing, right? So I need that rubber band. I need to be like, this is not a big deal, have some foresight and like move on from it. So talk to me, why is it important to be resilient?
So, I think building resilience is important and doing things every day because you never know when you're going to need to bounce back or move through a challenge. And I think when you're able to start implementing things into your life that help you to become more resilient, when you are faced with those challenges, like your blender exploding or someone getting hurt or passing away or like a big life challenge, and I've been through a lot of those in the past year, it just helps you navigate that situation with a more level head. And don't get me wrong, like challenges are still going to suck, but
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be able to move through it faster and with more grace.
Yes.
Well, I shouldn't say grace because we're humans and like I'm a professional human and I'm a hot mess sometimes. But instead of being a hot mess for like a really long period of time, I like deal with it and move forward. And I've trained myself to see the silver lining in every situation. And it's not something that just happens overnight. I've been doing certain things every day for years, 4 or 5 years, that have helped me to prepare for challenges like when my husband was sick or injuring myself. And
Mm-hmm.
and I think everyone has the ability to implement certain things into their life to build up their resilience.
Mm-hmm. Which is so important, because when it comes to healthy living and a healthy lifestyle, which, by the way, Blair is part of our VIP community. It's so important to be able to work out and eat well. But if things are going to happen in your life that completely throw you off, it it just triggers you in a way that like now you can't focus on the healthy lifestyle anymore.
Right. And so like I'll just give you an example of some of the things I've done, and like you've been a huge part of it. So before, I've probably been with the Fuel for Fat Loss community for about a year.
Yeah.
So I found out some news. My dad's terminally ill. I found this out in the 2018, and I decided, what can I do to help control my anxiety while I navigate my father's end of life? And so I decided, okay, I'm going to cut out alcohol. I'm going to try and eat healthy. And then my friend introduced me to Simone and her community and your community, I guess. So I'm talking to those people watching. And like, you really gave me the tools to help eat clean. And I noticed a huge shift, not only cutting out alcohol. Now it's been like 15 months. No alcohol.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
There's been some sticky situations that I really like wanted to have a drink, but I didn't. But I'm an emotional eater. I'm not an emotional drinker. And so really having the tools that I need from you have helped me, you know, eat clean and navigate my situations. And then I do know if I do slip and like binge all my emergency milk duds happened recently. And my pandemic stash of milk duds all went down my body into my mouth. And I'm just able to bounce back faster from that, but also like other things like sleep is so important. And I've learned a lot through you. And, you know, I have a therapist, and yes, I'm medicated. Like I have Prozac. I make sure I move every day. Like I try to start each day with movement. And if I can't, I take a break in the middle of the day, and I try and start my day if I can with movement, and then take a break midday and not be in front of my screen. And sleep is so important, like 8 hours minimum for me. And if I don't get enough sleep, like it really does impact me. But the clean eating has been a huge instrumental part in fueling my happiness and managing my anxiety.
But it does come together, right? Like that mindset piece and that strength piece, like that, just that resilience piece is going to help you allow you to focus on that healthy living.
Yeah. And everything's connected, right? Like your mind, your soul, your body, and you know, you're all one unit. And you know, there's some days, weeks that are hard. Like my husband in the fall had a heart attack, and then I had to move from Pemberton to live out of a suitcase, you know, staying at a hotel and family's house and friend's house in Vancouver. So now I do have access to a kitchen, but the last thing I want to do is meal prep while my husband is in the hospital for 3 weeks, but they had a kitchen there. So I did what I could. And I did make a bunch of trail mix snacks. And I brought, you know, I just went to the IGA down the street from St. Paul's Hospital, and I got a bunch of stuff, and I would make so I had the tools. I knew what to eat and what not to eat, but I also knew if I like wanted mac and cheese, that was okay too.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have had some crazy stories. So what are some ways that you can build resilience?
So that's a great question. And there's a lot of different ways, but I'll share like some of the things I just shared. Like sleep is really important. Eating clean, like drinking lots of water, cutting out alcohol. I know we like alcohol. I'm not saying you have to go cold turkey, but like alcohol fuels my anxiety. I don't know what it does for you, but for me, cutting out alcohol was a really huge piece. And the most important thing that I've been doing, and this is something that anyone can implement, is I practice gratitude. Some people like to start their days off with it, writing in a journal, but what I do is I have a gratitude alarm, and every day at 9 p.m. my phone goes off, and me and my husband and whoever else is around, we list 3 things that we're grateful for from the past 24 hours. And the science behind that is that after 21 days of doing that in a row, the neural pathways in your brain start to change, so you see the world in a more positive way. And I probably started doing this maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I pretty much don't miss a day. If I'm alone, I'll text my husband, I'll share it to my Instagram story, and I started an Instagram highlight, Blair from Blairs. You know, if I'm at a party, we all stop and do it. And it's a really beautiful practice. If I'm in a really bad mood, my alarm goes off and like I don't say anything, my husband will yell from across the room, like, I'm grateful for my wife and cats and hockey, and he makes a joke. And it's really beautiful because we both do it. And he's like, he and I are very different when it comes to that. Like I'm very much into manifestation and listening to the universe, and he's very much like plaid on plaid, chopping trees down in the woods. Mountain man. And so beautiful gratitude practice is something that we do with ourselves, with our friends, with our family. And it's helped me be more positive and see the silver lining, you know? And so what I challenge you guys watching, or even you, is maybe once a day, set your alarm and do it with your family. Maybe it's 7 because you have a younger daughter, but 9 p.m. is good because for me, it's kind of like, okay, it's 9 p.m. It's gratitude time. Now I'm going to get ready for bed. And it kind of is a really beautiful way to wrap my day up. And if I'm having a really bad day, it forces me to think of 3 things that were not so bad about the day. And so it's like, oh, my coffee press exploded this weekend, and like definitely been grateful for T3s and for the nurses at the Pemberton Center and for my husband who took care of me. But sometimes it's like as little things, like I'm grateful for the sunshine. Well, that's a big thing.
That's a big thing.
I'm grateful for coffee.
Northwest.
I'm grateful for the person smiling at me at the store.
Yeah.
It can be just these little things that make a big difference, but it forces you to think about the positive in your day. And especially when you're having that bad day where everything seems to be going wrong, it's a really beautiful practice. And I know people who do it in the morning, who write it in a journal, but set an alarm on your phone and call it the gratitude alarm and have it go off every day, and do it with the people around you.
I think that's really timely because I just put together a family routine schedule because I feel like routine is going to get us through this. And one of the things at 7 p.m. bedtime is gratitude practice. So it's actually on there. And that is something that I practice with Shelby every single day, and it's huge. So I ask her 3 things that she's grateful for from her day. And it's really cute. Some of the things that a 6-year-old can come up with. But gratitude is, I agree with you. It's an incredible way. Right now, there's still a lot to be grateful for. We have a roof over our head. We're alive. We have our health right now, right? So yes, you burnt yourself with coffee, which is awful, but you still have your health. You don't have COVID-19.
Oh, it could have been worse. Could have been my eyes.
Yes, exactly. It can always be worse.
Those are magical.
Yeah, and I think that's one way definitely to turn it around quite quickly. And that is something I've actually, this last little bit is I've upped my gratitude practice. So I would usually start my day and end my day with gratitude. And now I actually add a middle part of my day where I write 10 things down that I'm grateful for in the middle of my day, because it's just crazy times. And so upping your gratitude is important.
And I also think, like, on top of all of that, I know we're cooped up inside, and unless you're in like full quarantine and can't leave your house, if you have like a yard, go outside, but like try and go outside.
Yeah.
Like a tree, go stand near it, like be near nature. And some of you in urban centers might have a bit more, a challenge with that. And I'm definitely grateful for living in Pemberton. And like, I'm a city person. I moved here for love, and like I've adjusted to the mountains. Like, if you can't do that and you have plants, like spend more time near your plants. And you know, and that's a really good time to like think about what you're grateful for, right? And I actually saw someone else made a post. I can't remember who it was, but every time you wash your hands, think about a few things you're grateful for.
Oh, and right now that's perfect because we're washing our hands a lot.
Right?
Let's do that. Let's wash our hands. We're supposed to wash our hands every hour right now. Let's wash our hands every hour and like do a little gratitude practice.
Yeah, like pick 5 things you're grateful for and say them out loud, whisper them to yourself, tell whoever's around you, even if you're not out in public.
Oh my gosh. I think we should start a little a little movement there. I love that. A hand washing gratitude movement. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, Blair, thank you so much for this. I think that there's so many great helpful tips that we can use from you, and just to build resilience and keep growing, keep building, coming out of this time thriving, not just surviving, and actually looking back 3 months from now and saying, you know what, I used that time to really, really grow, so that when something happens down the road, we're not thrown off and we're like that rubber band that you talked about. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It's such an honor to be able to talk to you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks for having me. It's been a slice.
Awesome. Okay, we'll see you soon. Bye.